Hi Stampers, I'm Meg from LovenStamps and I absolutely adore this project. It is the simplest way to make a pop-up box card ever. So I'm going to step you through all the steps for it, but first let me show you our sweet little guy here. So he is the sweetest little lion right here in the front, and he's accompanied by our friend the koala, and he is just stopping by to wish a birthday hi. So here is the card. It does fit in a regular size envelope, closes up just like this, and then opens to show all of that fun fabulousness. And this stamp set is really a perfect fit for this. There's a lot going on in it, so it's a great chance to show off some of the other pieces in the stamp set and then have this fun surprise on the inside. Because really, what could be more fun than a pop-up box card that you could set on your desk or your table or your kitchen or wherever you want and just alight and appreciate. So for a few days or weeks or years, however long you want this guy around. So let me give you some tips and we'll get stamping. All right, so this card is actually one of the ones that it will be included when you order more than $50 from me this month, or at least $50 from me this month in my online store. You'll get project supplies for this in the mail. So it'll be the pre-cut cardstock and the pieces that you need to make this card at home. So you would need your own stamps and ink, so make sure you order that. But I just wanted to let you know that this one's coming your direction. So let me show you how to put this together. So when this comes, or when you're making this at home, you just have half of a card, or half of a sheet of cardstock here. This is really easy to do. It's definitely the simplest pop-up box card directions I've ever done. So 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. You're going to score it. You can see here at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches, which leaves you these two little panels here at the end. And what I'm going to do is go right to the edge there, trim that sort of on a diagonal because that just helps our pieces go together best. And then I'm going to trim away the edge there. Now, when you do that, you want to either go directly on the score line or you want to go just on the last one there. You could go inside the score line, but make sure that you're right in the center there when you cut. You could even use your paper trimmer to do this as you're scoring, so you wouldn't have the score lines there either. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on all my score lines so that I've got this set and fold my little tab. And the first thing I'm going to do is put this together. So with my tab here, you could attach this in the middle of the air like this, but then it ends up all like gallywampus, and that means not straight. And then that's kind of messy. So what I'm going to do instead is put my adhesive tear tape here, and remember, the harder you push that down, the easier it is to peel the backing. And then I'm just going to take my card and I'm going to fold it right down on there because all of this was scored on a trimmer, which was square, so it's nicely done and I don't have to worry about having it be off. It'll just be square. Okay, see, and then it closes. Now, one of these panels you're going to leave straight, the other three you're going to peel down like a banana. Okay, this one here straight in the back is sized so that it stands up and it gives sort of the back to our card. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of designer series paper on it. And these pieces are 2 3/4 inches wide. And the nice thing about the back one here is that it extends a little bit further down. It's kind of what's left over after you cut the rest of the strip. But it helps to stabilize that back so that if you've accidentally folded it, it's not a big deal. It'll just help itself stay there. Now, the other two parts that are part of this card, you could just do one if you wanted to for this kind of pop-up box card, but let's go crazy. Why not? We'll do 2 panels, okay? So I am going to go ahead and pop these in here just to kind of show you how they go. But these are 3 inches by 2.5 inches. And let's see, is that right? 3 inches, yep, by 2.5. And then on this 3-inch direction, you're going to score it at 1/2 inch and at 2.5 inches. And if you can't remember which way you're scoring it, just remember that you want a nice 1/2 inch there to get your adhesive on. If you score it the wrong direction, it'll still work, but then you have like these little tiny nubs to put your adhesive on. That's just making yourself work too hard. So give yourself the benefit of the doubt, score sort of so that you get those large, nice tabs. And remember, the tutorials for this are part of the online purchase thank you gift that I send each month. This one is for February tutorials or February orders. So if you place an order in my online store during February, then you will get this as one of the 4 projects that feature a birthday bonanza in a printable PDF form. So, and then if you order at least $50, you'll get this as one of 2 card kits. So, all right. So what I've done now is I have folded this really nicely so that the tabs are not sticking out. Does that make sense? They're turned in so that when I slide this in, it's not going to automatically grab. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this down and get it pretty straight. I'm going to adhere one side just gently. I'm going to adhere the other side kind of gently. Okay, so it's just barely attached there. And then I'm going to take my card and I'm going to shut it. Okay. This is the direction my card's going to go in the envelope now. I'm committed, okay? Because what that does is it means that those pieces are attached, this panel is attached exactly how I want it so that my card will close easily. Because one of the great things about this pop-up box card is that it goes in nicely in an envelope. So this is actually one of my all-time most viewed projects ever. Not this one because it's brand new, but past ones. So other versions of this box card. So you'll have to check those out if you want more ideas for how to do this. So I'm going to do the same trick. I've just barely attached that there on the side, and I'm going to barely attach this here on the other side. And then, oh, see, now that time I had it kind of crooked, and so it popped this side off, which is perfect, because what I want it to do is kind of find its natural adhere point, the natural place that it wants to be, okay? So then once I've got that natural place figured, then I'm going to give it a really hard cross so that it's not going anywhere, okay? All right, so other pieces. These are 2.5 inches by 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to make the presents show on these. So they're kind of a nice size. If you just cut yourself a whole strip of designer series paper, then you could use 3 of the pieces here on your panels and 1 of the piece there for your background. And when you're selecting the designer series paper for this part, sometimes it's nice to pick one without a real strong direction so that your pieces are, you know, not necessarily having to be one direction or the other. Okay, I'm going to lose my window sheets here if I'm not careful. All right, so we have our card base. Now we need some cute things to go on it, right? So I have some die cut circles that are die cut with the Stitch Shapes framelits dies, which are, they never leave my craft area. You saw that those were right there. They're the ones that I use more than any other dies, so they're a great bonus to have. And I'm going to use this. I'm glad it's your birthday so I can tell you how wonderful you are. Okay, and that there is stamped on our larger circle. And then on this circle here, I want to add a die cut piece. And these are die cut with these 2 fabulous dies from the Bonanza die set. They're little banners, aren't they cute? And I am going to go ahead and attach these, flipping my card around, with 2 mini dimensional. So on the back of this center ones here, did I get those? Yeah. I'm going to pop these guys on, and this banner is sort of like creating the illusion of a bigger party, so I'm going to make it go off the edges there. And then this is going to get mounted onto one of our, where are they? Here they are, one of our window sheet pieces. Okay, so you can do these a number of ways. Honestly, the easiest thing to do is to just pop a Stampin' Dimensional on there, and then pop this onto it. Okay, so there we have like a party lollipop right there. You could twist it or turn it or whatever you want. Then we have this one, which is going to be our happy birthday. I'm going to ink this in black and stamp this one. And this happy birthday is going to get our other banner, which, did I leave space? I did. Okay, so again, with the mini dimensionals, put one on each of those center panels. And I want this one to kind of have a jaunty angle to the side here. And then I'm going to put this onto another piece of window sheet. And again, I'm just going to pop the dimensional on the back of the window sheet and pop that on there. Okay, so now we have 2 fun lollipops for our card. Next thing to do is to stamp some of our creatures. So on the front of our card, we have a cute little koala, which I've stamped in another video. So I'm going to pull him here, and he's going to go on the front of our card here with our little greeting. And then I need to stamp a lion. And so for this one, so I'm going to ink his body here in Daffodil Delight, and then the rest of him, his mane and so forth, I'm going to do, his mane and his tail are on one stamp so that they match the die, and I'm going to do them in Grapefruit Grove. Okay. All right, and then he needs party hat, so we're going to give him a party hat in Coastal Cabana. Okay, and I'm putting these all separate because we're going to go ahead and assemble them after they are die cut. So, and then our present with our little present twine here. Go ahead and stamp that. All right, so now I have my line pieces, but I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp one time here because I need a party hat in Grapefruit also for our koala on the front of our card. So he's going to the party too. All right, so then I'm going to take my dies here. Here's the one that I said matches for our lion. And this one's going to cut the lion head and body separately so that they can get put back together. And then our present we're just going to cut with scissors. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut these. All right, and then we're going to start putting our guy together. So here is our piece of plastic, and I'll just go ahead and, or window sheet, sorry. Just go ahead and pop a dimensional on here to get our lion dude started. So he's going to sit right there, okay? Now the next piece to go on is the lion's mane, and I find that the best way to adhere these is from the back, but since our lion is going to be shown on the back, let's see, we're not going to worry about it too much. We're just going to put the dimensional on, but I'm not going to peel the backing. I'm just going to use that to hold them together. It's so, I would just want to pull the backing off, but you don't want to because you want that to just stay the way it is. And then, oh, you know what I didn't add is our little guy's cute face. So let's go ahead and add the cute little lion face. There we go. All right, he's so sweet. Oh, I just love this guy. All right, and then his cute little lion face is going to go ahead on the back here. But before I do that, I'm going to actually put his hat on because then I can use his hat and attach that easily with a dimensional on the back. See how that works? And that way I can put this together like so. Okay, you want to keep that down too because you don't want the dimensional to go on the back and then be sticky someplace else. All right, so there's our lion, and he needs something to take to the party, so we're going to give him this little present. And that is pretty small little paw. So I'm going to go ahead and put a mini dimensional on there. If you didn't know we had mini dimensionals, I highly recommend checking those out. And then I kind of like this margin to be a little smaller because our lion is so sweet. I don't want to overwhelm him. So I'm going to trim that just a tiny bit more and then put that there. So there's our little lion going to the party. Now he's going to get a pom-pom, but we're not going to mess with that until we've got our card together. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to put his tail on. So that would be so sad. I'm just going to use a little tiny dot of multi-purpose liquid glue. And when I mean tiny. Like if you can see it, that's enough. So a take your pick tool is a great way to pick this little piece up and add that. But if you don't have one handy, just use your fingers the old-fashioned way. All right, so there's our little dude. Isn't he cute? Okay, so let's, we got our 3 lollipops, and oh, our koala needs a party hat. So let's go ahead and put that on him. And so I'm going to pop a dimensional on the back, because like I said, that's my preferred way to attach these little party hats. Okay, now the koala and the birthday greeting are going to go on the front, but this is super important. You have to be careful where you attach these because you can't glue this to this and then also put adhesive over here. You only get to put adhesive on one of these 2 panels. See how this works? If I put adhesive here and here, then this would try and bend every time, and that's not a happy occurrence. So I'm going to pop 2 dimensionals on here, which means that I have gotten all my adhesive kind of on this side, which means this line can't go past the center of our card, okay? See how that works? So there's no adhesive on this part because when our card opens, it has to be able to go like this, all right? So there is our mechanism. All right, now we have our lollipops. Aren't they the sweetest? Basically, you can put these in kind of anywhere you want. You're just going to attach them in 3 layers. And I'll give you some tips because the biggest thing that you need to know is that you can't you can't put the pieces outside the closed card. So you want the piece to fit here when the card is closed, but you want it to be centered the way you desire when the card is open. So I'm gonna put my lion here in the front-ish. Okay, so I've put that dimensional there, and then double check. See, I messed up. He can't be like that because now he's outside my card edge. So I'm gonna just pull. There we go. See how that works? And I'll put another dimensional on kind of above it, and I'll show you how I avoid having that happen. So usually what I do is I kind of look at the card here with the card closed, I look at where my lion is, I tuck him in, and then I pinch the card shut so that when that pinch is when that dimensional gets stuck to the card, and then give it a good pinch so that you know it's really stuck, okay? So there is our lion. The next one here is going to go on the center panel, the back of the center panel, and this is going to be our happy birthday. And this one, actually, here's my trick for you. It'll be easier to fit if you cut off that last little thing. And probably you didn't even notice that from the sample that was cut off that way. So now this is too tall, right? Because it's above. So I'm going to have to lower it just a teeny bit. Oh, I forgot to put the dimensional on. Okay, so I'm going to pop the dimensional on now, so it's on the front of my lollipop, just like I did for the lion. And I'm going to slide this in so that it's on the back of the second panel. And I'm going to tilt this just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that now it's behind our lion, but kind of off to the side. All right, see how that works? And then if you realize that it's just a teeny bit too tall, then fine. We'll just make that easier. All right, now my last panel, I want to put back here, and I want this from the front. I want to have kind of a nice composition, so I want this one to lean out this direction. So let's see if we can make that work. And you might have to play with these just a little bit. If you want to, you can also attach these using the multi-liquid glue, multi-purpose liquid adhesive. The advantage of that is that you can slide them a little. The disadvantage is that if you end up with glue in weird places, you can glue your card shut. So be careful about that. All right, and then this one, I'm going to rotate kind of to the side there. There we go. Okay. Oh, I might have to cut that one off too. That's fine. No big deal. All right. So then we have our last circle there. Okay. And so there's our card open with our lion and our cute greetings and so forth, and our koala on the front. And here's our card shut. And like I said, yeah, we'll just snip that to match. All right. So there's the pieces there. One last thing, of course, is to add those cute little pom-poms. And if you love this card, you'll want to go back and check out some of my other videos for pop-up box cards. I have several that feature this kind of design and decorated in different ways with past stamp sets. So, all right, so there we have it, our sweet lion guy with the pop-up card tutorial. Remember, this is part of my series for February, which includes this designer series card-based card or DSP card-based card, and a fun another lion card where presents are involved, and then the gift card holder. So with a kind of secret gift card design there, super simple. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you visit my website, LovenStamps.com, place your order for February so you can get all these directions. And if you order $50 or more, then this is one of the 2 card kits that you're going to be getting in the mail. So just remember to get your stamps and your ink, just like it says on my website. And I look forward to sharing more projects with you soon. Happy stamping. Thanks so much for watching.